Hey guys, it's Cardboard Richard here in Dunbar, Vancouver. So we are at Ube doing something a little different, a little bit more special here. We're actually checking out a local store because I was here last week, bought a collection, pretty large collection actually, about 200-300 cards, but we saved some of the best cards here for all of you guys. We're gonna try to make the rest of the deal done here today on the Monday. I haven't even seen all the stuff, so I'm really excited to see what's there in that lot. We're gonna go in, we're gonna do a tour as well of Ray's local shop here in Vancouver. Let's check it out.
Hey, there he is.
Man, how are you?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Thanks for coming in.
Guys, this is Ray. We were talking about Ray earlier. He's the owner of the store of Ube. Tell us a bit about this location. I heard you were actually just across the street before, right?
Right. So we opened in 2023. We're in a little shoebox across 600 square feet. We opened primarily as a sports card shop. And really what we found here is that nowadays everything's online, and what really the community lacked here was a brick and mortar where people can come in and buy packs, just like when we were younger.
Yes.
And so I started off very humbly just as a sports card shop. And then over a course of a year, people have been asking us, do you carry Pokemon? Do you carry One Piece? Do you carry trading card games? And I'm a sports card guy. But I answered the bell and I decided, okay, you know what? We're going to bring in some Pokemon. And all of a sudden, it just became a wave where the demand and people buying outgrew what I was doing in sports.
That's awesome.
So that's sort of the background there, where we started there. And after a year, this spot became available and we closed this place, which happens to be a former CIBC bank.
How large is the space right here?
We're 3,000 square feet.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's one of the
another
stores
500.
in Vancouver, yeah.
Well, 500 square feet downstairs, but yeah, we're super lucky. I mean, again, we figured that we're going to leverage the space to be a real interactive spot.
Yeah.
Outside of a traditional card shop. So far, it's worked out really well.
Can we leak a bit of the future plans here?
What we're looking to do is we're looking to expand, but more on a community-based level, but in other areas. Talking about Toronto. I'm even talking about Vegas, where we actually have a presence there in terms of distribution. You know, that's a small snapshot that I'll share. But in the meantime, this is the place that we want to build out, and then we want to be able to cascade that to potentially other locations, not as maybe a traditional card shop, but more of an interactive space.
Right. And why are we here today, Ray?
Well, 80% of our business is trading card games, and we do sports also. And so I called my friend Richard here, who specializes in sports, to help us curate some of these sports cards that I think will add value to his customers.
Why don't we have a quick peek around the shop? There's
100%.
So much here. I'd love to see what's in store here.
It's kind of chaotic, but it's controlled chaos. Over here is actually going to be our media room, where we're going to have our own content creation, and we're not going to get into breaks, but it's more just for having more of a digital presence in that room. So that's being built out. As you can see here, we have the claw machine and a basketball arcade. So from a business perspective, we host birthday parties here. We do private events. We even do adult parties here. So we're able to leverage the space to provide those kind of community-based services that, like I said, we have the space to do. Over on this side, we essentially have all our trading card games. And then over here is our sports card side. Next door here is our cornerstone product, which is Pokemon. And as you all know, Pokemon's turned into quite what I call the commodity. What we have here for Pokemon is not just cards, but we do the model kits. Much of what we can't get in Pokemon, we make up by curating singles. And so again, every second Saturday we have train nights, and it's more geared towards Pokemon. I mean, we do all sports cards, but it's a very important part of our business, and with any business that is selling Pokemon, that curating singles of this nature here, which is in high demand, is the lifeline of most card shops.
So how do you get most of these singles, Ray? Do people come in to sell their collection, or?
Yeah, we're fortunate because having a brick and mortar, and you know this already, people there's a variety of different ways to acquire cards, Facebook Marketplace or eBay. But as I mentioned earlier, there's nothing like coming into a place that is fully endorsed, say by Pokemon, and we're able to, get in product or get in singles to a wide audience, whether it's those that have grown it, or those that belong to their kids and they have no interest in it. We get it through trade night, as I mentioned, that we host every second Saturday, and that's a really cool thing in terms of being able to, again, having that community feel, having a safe place where you can meet, because you can go to Facebook Marketplace and end up meeting at Starbucks or meeting at McDonald's or Summer Central here, but there's nothing like coming to a place like here or their place where you can come in and really do a deal here.
Just a bunch of like-minded individuals, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, it's, again, going back to building a community. Sometimes in Vancouver, I find there's a lot of like different groups and niches, so it's really nice to be part of something.
Exactly. Yeah. Over here is our accessory section, but here is our calendar of events. The heart of our business here entails actually hosting these trading card game events that are endorsed by Wizards of the Coast for Magic, for Pokemon, Bandai Namco for One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh! It's one thing to buy cards, or it's one thing to rip open packs, but really TCG is trading card games, and what is that? It's an actual activity. And so we have events here 4 or 5 days a week, but you can find all our calendar events that you can sign up for online. Because we're a certified Play Store, we have an advantage to be a pre-release store. And so products such as Pokemon, One Piece, and all that, we're able to get that 2 weeks in advance. And we're able to take advantage of that to host these events that they provide the prizes, and people can get a sneak peek on what the product looks like. So that's a huge advantage for us, being a Play Store, is being able to get access and be first to market to show these products. Not to sell it. We can sell it a few days before release date, but just to introduce to the public and to those hobbyists, what these products look like and what they're rolling out. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you a snapshot of the vault here. I was going to not show you the safe, but because we're a bank, I actually have to show it off. It's not very presentable. Right now, it is a storage space. But I'll tell you a backstory. The reason why I opened a card shop is my wife told me to get the stuff out of the house. And so everything that's in my house is in the safe. But I am going to start cleaning this up, but that's sort of the backstory.
Nice.
It's a bit humorous, but it's actually true.
Ray's vault.
Yeah, so I'll show you here, and if you want to take a peek in there, come on in. A lot of the stuff that you'll see here is stuff that I've accumulated over 30 years.
Like the Mr. Big?
Yeah, I mean, Toronto Raptors, Vancouver Grizzlies, you can walk right in there and take a look. There's chocolate bars that are over 25 years old. I got signed Vince Carter balls, and you have to excuse the mess, but this is something that I'm going to redo, and I'll probably light up in there, and people have access to look at things. So maybe I'm going to put some high-end collectibles, Jordan rookie, Gretzky rookie, something like that. That's going to be sort of like a display or a museum or of sorts here, or somewhere that I can showcase and take advantage of this vault per se. And our second vault here is for our inventory. So our insurance company likes that. We're able to lock that up, so I get good premiums.
Where'd you get this?
This cube?
Yeah.
Stuff of that nature. I wanted to get a feel of this interactive space. And so either you see this digital cube that's programmable, you can put videos on there, or even the kiosk here where customers that come in, and we teach young people and beginners to look at value of cards. So for example, just to go back here, we want to make sure that the community is well educated and understand the hobby. And so they'll be able to come up here and they're able to look at price of cards, and they'll just come in, and it's mostly for those that want to come in and understand value of cards. And so when we have our trade nights, these kiosks are usually busy, and we'll just at any time put any given card here, and it's really as them just looking it up. And this site, of course, everybody in 130 points, a data scraping site for last sales, and they'll be able to look at what the value of the cards are. And so that's what we're trying to create in terms of sort of this digital immersive experience where they're able to come in and be able to understand the hobby. Sports card side. This was our flagship. It's also turned out to be 25% of our business, even less now with trading card games.
That's
but
crazy. Yeah.
it's still our anchor.
Yeah.
Why? Because you and I are into sports, and you know, like I said, the community can always use a nice sports card shop. So over here, this is more of the high-end case here that we have here. I'm a basketball guy, but of course I got to carry everything. A lot of it's basketball in this corner. We have
Look at that Wemby auto. That's beautiful.
Wemby, yeah. We got
Very
some
nice.
memorabilia there. Soccer, football. I was just telling Richard with World Cup coming, I think it's a great time to pick up some European soccer or soccer cards, especially with the rise of the MLS and whatnot. So I think it's a great time before World Cup comes. So again, we've had an increase in traffic looking for cards. So we're taking those cards in. I think they're a great value now. Football, baseball, hockey, jerseys.
Yeah.
We carry some shoes.
I like how even as simple as you having the soccer game up there, right? Like there's always something new and that's going on in the sports card side world. So yeah, I'm glad to see that you've got a little bit of everything, and a lot of these individuals on the sports side, like yourself, merge over to the TCG side as well. So
yeah, I mean, you just come in, again, you don't have to buy anything. You just want to watch a game, which is the best time. If you're in a hockey pool or basketball pool, it's actually the perfect time.
Yeah.
But just wanted to make this a nice, comfortable spot. You can actually loiter, and you know what I mean. Like it's just, I just think that's very positive to have this real in-person experience.
Yeah, super excited about this portion.
Yeah.
We got the second lot. We did the first lot just last week.
Right, and thank you for make it efficient and easy. I mean, super laid back, and we want to be fair.
100%.
But yeah, just to give you some context, it came from a customer. Asked me to go sell on eBay or consign it. I felt that it's far more value for him and for us where we can collaborate, or we can show this to Richard, who's into hockey. And I'm very excited to show this second lot to him. So we can...
Yeah, and we have the sources to move it as well, and this way we can buy the entire lot, right? So it's nice and easy for everyone. Everyone gets some liquidity.
That's right.
But I speaking of efficiency, I just love how you guys, you guys see this. Everything's labeled. For example, this first lot, 1 to 68, but he's also got everything priced out, comped out with the whole description. So
I think it's one thing to, sell cards, but I also think it's a good two-way street to have it organized.
Yes.
It's like 70% of the work is just being able to itemize this and be able to maximize this and provide the best deal with full transparency. So really, yeah, it's a lot of work to organize this, but at the end of the day, when you're coming in, you want to be able to see this lot at any given card here. And so we have our team just to itemize, and that's how we actually operate our business here, especially when we curate singles. Yeah. And I think that's just far more efficient.
Far more efficient and a lot more fair for all of us as well, right? Because if I'm coming in and I see a 400 lot, it can be kind of intimidating, even for myself, right?
Yeah.
So that this way, it's like we're coming in. It's the whole negotiation process is nice and quick. So.
Well, how many times have you had people come to your store and just drop by in different boxes, right? And so honestly, I tell them, just go to our website and book an appointment.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But even that gets very daunting too. So our advice here from the industry is get your cards organized, and we'll come take a look at it.
Yeah.
And it's all numerically numbered, so we can start with these two boxes and essentially.
So generally, I had to quick look at all of this. I think your comps are pretty
Off?
spot on. No, they're pretty spot on. I'd say for the ones that are like maybe 15 or under.
This one here now.
Yeah, this is
that
part.
I want you to take a second look
Love
at.
it.
And so much of these cards here are higher end, so you really got to do your due diligence. Now, I essentially priced everything down, and then I just took the total, and I actually just put the total there. But what you're able to do is we can get a pen, and you can actually, in your opinion, that's market.
These are all case hits here. These are top. So some are from the All-Star Skills competition. This is the actual net. Now this is cool.
Stanley Cup one would be cool with Edmonton.
Stanley Cup
or
final.
Florida.
That's pretty cool. So that's from the Stanley Cup game. Is there any with a Florida?
No, I don't think so. I think
No?
the Stanley Cup, there's All-Star, and I think there's another one too.
Love it. Heritage Classic. That's always good.
But I just want to capture that total that I totaled here.
Sure.
And then we can work on that number. And I just, again, wanted to make it as easy as possible. So, Julius, a couple of these cards that I want Richard's opinion on. It's a couple of 1-of-1 cards. Yeah. Kyle Connor, it's a patch auto, 1-of-1. And there's Anze Kopitar, this emerald or this green colored, 1-of-1. It's really hard to peg value of this.
So maybe I'll just stop at kind of like this here.
Sure.
I think that's really, oh, and Matthews is what I comped. I don't think we're far off, but this kind of gives you an idea. Okay, so the problem with these net cord cards is it's really dependent on the person that's buying it. So it's also like from week to week, it changes so much.
Right.
So maybe you're not that far off here, but then don't mind this one. But these three are the same one.
Right.
And these are all just recent, right? These are all like in May.
And that's what you want anyways, the most
Yeah.
recent.
Yeah.
Right?
25 to 30, 35 bucks.
35?
Yeah. 25 is the lowest, 35 is the highest. These two are the tricky ones, but I love my 101s. Kyle Connor, such a good player, such a good player. All-star patch, 101 auto. Yeah,
It's such a bonus when the player is good and it's a 1-of-1.
Yeah.
How many 1-of-1s you get when they're
well
like
this year.
average, right?
Yeah.
So to me, that's special.
And yeah, the patch is just absolutely sick. So Kopitar also, there's a big fan base for this guy. You were saying maybe I need to bring this to LA.
Oh,
I am
100%.
going to
Bring the
Burbank,
Nationals,
Joe.
man.
Maybe,
Oh, yeah,
maybe the
Burbank
National,
too.
yeah, Burbank.
There you go.
Burbank's probably the place.
You get some
1-of-1.
eyeballs on that.
Yeah, this is a tricky one because with both of these, it's impossible to find comps on 101s, right? So we're looking at other either similar players or similar sets. We're trying to figure out if the green was anything special.
Yeah.
Typically, green is special in sets. Like I think of like the Emerald Surge or PMG Green, right?
I have a question for you. In your
Yeah.
opinion, when you talk about geography of cards,
Yeah.
I had a Celebrini draft day. It should be about $1,400, $1,500 match auto. And the guy in San Jose offered us $2,300 and we took it.
Wow. Okay.
So what does that say? Or was that indicative of like geography in terms of the cards? There's obviously an influence there. I mean, I obviously it's a dumb question, but
yeah.
maybe it's the right thing to do is to bring this to Burbank or even the Nationals.
Especially the 101s, right? Like I've picked up like Matthews 101s and stuff. When you go to Toronto Expo,
Right.
you do way better than who's looking for Matthews over here.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Same thing. I just did a trade not too long ago at Toronto Expo. I got rid of my Draisaitl because no one wanted Draisaitl here, but Draisaitl is so good.
Right.
But it was a 101 Shield Draisaitl.
Amazing.
I traded it for Quinn Hughes Shield.
Right.
So I just found it would be much easier for me to move a Quinn Hughes than I would be Draisaitl here. I've had that card for like 3 years here.
Right.
And for most of you who watch my content, you know I move the stuff pretty quickly. So 3 years is a very, very, very long time. But that's also maybe because I'm biased and I didn't want to move it.
Right. Well, you guys, I mean, listen, a guy like you travel quite often now
Yeah.
in this industry. So you have the opportunity to do very well depending, you always want to have trade bait,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Are you going to the Nationals?
I am.
Nice.
I'll see you there.
Man, it's going to
Yeah.
be a big Vancouver entourage.
I think Julius is going.
Are you?
He's going. We'll get some content out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, this is cool, man.
But I think we got a deal done.
Yeah,
Right? Just
100%.
kind of based on the numbers that we discussed. So, yeah, well, I love it. We got some really, really quality like case hits, I would say, from so as you can see, most of this is SP game used from this year.
Mm-hmm.
So new stuff is always good for us.
And this won't be our first deal. I mean, this is
Yes.
an ongoing thing for us. And like I said, we want to create value or add value to our customer base. And it goes both ways. So it's nice, man. I really appreciate this.
Thank you again.
Yeah, it's always a privilege, man.
Awesome.